Hello and good morning. We will be starting in just a second or two. I have to go grab my phone. Actually, let's put this into talking mode. I have to go grab my phone from the other room so that I have another window to watch any questions or comments that pop up. So this will get started just probably a minute or two late. I hope you have some wonderful morning coffee to get your day started with as well. So just hang tight. We'll be starting probably in 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, so good morning, everyone. I am really excited about today's code review. We've got 2 different things that we're going to be looking at today. It's both the PySpark on Kubernetes PR, which we've looked at a lot, and I'm told by the author that the integration tests that I've asked for exist now, and so that's pretty exciting. And the other ones are some improvements around the JSON format, and this came out of some discussions at Spark Summit in San Francisco. Oh, and that's my alarm to wake up for my normal workday. I'm just going to go ahead and open up Twitch on my phone so that if anyone has any questions, I can answer them. Okay, there we go. So sounds like the audio is working pretty fine as well, so that's good. Let's go ahead and get started. Sorry. Okay, I'll just drag this over here and switch it into our live view. Should probably update. Which one it is? Okay, there we go. So let's go into the Spark pull request dashboard, look at the open PRs. Sorry, I need coffee to really get my morning started. Okay, and this is going to be in Python. And we're going to look for, that's K8s, initial Python bindings for Spark on K8s. And this was last updated 14 hours ago. Wow. There are a lot of changes happening. Okay, so let's scroll down to the bottom and see the most recent comments. That is great. This is looking pretty solid. Let's go ahead and show outdated. Oh, wait, am I not logged in here? I am not. Okay. Now, yay, 2-factor authentication. So much fun. Also, just a friendly reminder, everyone, please use 2-factor authentication. Also, congratulations to GitHub on their acquisition. I hope you all have a lot of fun. Okay. Go down near the bottom. And so this says there was a point where we were asked default Python. Okay, maybe it was Python to. No, wait, what did. We all saw that just a second ago. Was it under here? Okay, yeah. Yeah. I'm fine with either. I think we'll still for a while after. Fine with either as the default. Since we support both, I don't really care which one the default is. But this is a comment on an outdated piece of code, which means that it's probably been changed. So let's go ahead and go find this really quickly and see what it's been changed to. Yeah. Oh, I don't know why this was coming up as show outdated then here, because this has not been changed. It's still Python 2. Okay, let's go ahead and look at some of the other comments. Yeah, so this is the one around testing. Sorry, not testing, around documentation. And so essentially, we take a different approach to the default value for memory here. And I think this is really good and important. Traditionally on Yarn, when you start running things that are not just pure Java code, you end up in a situation where you essentially have to remember to tune this configuration value to leave enough memory set aside for your non-Java code. And I think that's a little bit silly because we can detect that you're running non-Java code. And certainly we want people to be able to tune this, but we can pick a better default for them. And the comments here were just about, yes, this is different than what we do in Yarn, and we definitely do need to document this, and just discussing the places where we can document it. So let's go ahead and actually check for that documentation right now. Not showing up in the file I thought it would. Is there any changes? No. There are no changes to .md files in this pull request. That's unfortunate. Okay, well, that gives us a thing to start with. So let's go back down to the bottom. We can start writing this here. And this is just because they said there were integration tests. I'll double check before I hit submit, because sometimes, people don't remember to push their latest changes, and then that's a little sad. The documentation requests seem to have gotten lost in the shuffle. So I'm just going to go back up here and copy memory overhead factor. E.g. mentioning behavior of memory overhead fraction. Okay. So that's good. That's pretty basic. Hopefully you can just go back in and follow up on that. Let's keep going and taking a look through. Where is the other thing that I'm really curious and I want to take a look at today? I'm actually going to put some music on to accompany this for myself. So there was this. The other thing is right now, or I shouldn't say right now. Last week when we looked at this, the way this was being handled is the value was being overwritten regardless of if the users supplied a custom value. So while we want to pick a better default value than the one that's necessarily going to be set by default, we don't want to override the user's better value. And that's my backup alarm to make sure that I really am awake. So let's keep going and look at the part where we set it to 0.4. Okay. Okay, cool. So this is good. It's been switched to set if missing. That's the behavior we want. Let's go ahead and make sure that we have a test for this behavior. So let's go and find the tests. So down in here, oh yeah, actually before I go and put too much time into the tests, I'm going to put a little bit of time into me having music to listen to. Sorry everyone, I just... Mornings without music are a little rough. Okay, let's keep going here. There we go. I'm just putting on some digitally imported. You probably won't hear it, but, or at least you shouldn't. If I do, I'm going to have some copyright issues on the recording. But this memory overhead fraction is asserted to be 0.4. This is a great test. And here we go. We see this is being set for 0.3. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and yeah, so this was from April 20th, saying that we'll totally do this. Test that I'm interested in seeing. So let's scroll through and see if maybe that test just sort of fell by the wayside. And looking for it, I don't see a lot of other things touching the memory overhead in the tests here. So my guess is that this has just been forgotten, and that's totally fine. We're just going to go ahead and do a quick little search. Yeah. The only one with Python set, right, maybe PyFiles here is set to none. And the only ones with the Python files set are indeed 0.4. So let's go just to follow up. We should have a test for with Python and overriding. Memory overhead factor. E.g. test to make sure and this isn't quite as much as like we need to have a test for every bug, but since we did initially make this PR where we didn't use set if missing, we just overwrote the value. I think when we make changes like that, it's important to have a test that makes sure that the change we did is actually the one that we intended. So I'm going to go ahead and click Start Review. We still have this comment over here. I don't actually know how well GitHub handles two separate tabs, so we'll probably just end up copying it over. The main thing that I want to go look at today now, though, for this PR is the integration tests, because we've been asking for those for a while, and I'm really excited to see them. So let's go take a look. PySpark test number 46. Okay, so the integration tests fail here. And this is expected because these are integration tests are running against master. That's not great. These things should be integrated, but that's a separate issue into itself. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the files changed here and start digging through. So run PySpark on a simple Py example. Lovely. Run PySpark with Python 2 to test a PyFiles example. Okay, this is great. This is where the rubber sort of starts to hit the road, I think, in terms of seeing the tests that we want to see. So that's the container image. Actually, I'm going to double check with OBS something really quickly. Oh, I forgot to update the pull request number just in time to be ready to change. Let's do that. Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, where were we? Okay, so that's good. This is the Python version. PySpark _ files. Okay. Where is this? So app resources PySpark Py. Here app resources PySpark _ files. Where is this defined? Okay, let's go look at pyfiles.py. What the hell? Where is pyfiles.py coming from? I don't see pyfiles.py. So, is this is one of the built-in Spark examples? Because if so, this is not the integration test we want. But that's okay. So let's go ahead. This is over in the Spark repo, ostensibly, I think. So examples, src, main, Python. I don't see it here. Okay, maybe I'm a bit behind. Oh, oops. I'm confused where this is coming from. So let's go ahead and where is this coming from? Maybe let's go back in here. Is there a pyfiles.py in here that we just didn't notice? It's quite possible. Okay, yeah, so this is new. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so that's good. We can go ahead and hit cancel there. This isn't Py container checks version check. Okay, that's cool. Checks which version of Python It is. Let's go find PyContainer checks. Okay, gets the version info and prints it out. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Oh wait, okay, this is in here. This doc file, I don't know why it wasn't showing up when I was searching for .md files. Maybe I was just looking at an old version, but we can see this documentation that I was talking about earlier is actually here, and so that's amazing. I'm glad we saw it. And so let's put this on hold and read this documentation really quickly. Which I think the wording here could be improved a little bit. And since it's the documentation, that's something that we can maybe consider working on. Let's go check what the yarn documentation says. Wow, this documentation is crap. Sorry, not crap. Not very clear. Because this references a thing which isn't described here. So that's unfortunate. Maybe we can improve that. Okay, so let's not reference what yarn does here, because I don't think it's better. It's not so much how much memory is set aside for non-JVM jobs, it's how much memory is set aside for non-JVM processes, including off-heap memory for non-JVM memory, including off-heap allocations, non-JVM and system processes. And this is just like we could, I think we can be a bit clearer. Oh, someone can't hear the audio. That's very unfortunate. Let me double check the audio situation then. Oh, hi. There's a friend on YouTube chat. Okay. So this means I'm going to stop listening to my music for a second and double check what's going on with the audio situation. It's working for me. I'm not super sure. I'm sorry. It's coming through on Twitch for myself. Is anyone else able to hear me or having difficulty with the audio either way? Also, hello friends. I'm sorry, I got kind of distracted and just went down the rabbit hole. Okay, so audio is good. Oh, hey, the author of the PR is here. Happy friends. Okay, it sounds like it's working for some people. So I guess if it's not working for you, maybe just try checking your settings. Sorry, I don't have a better workaround. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this part, and this is how we can maybe improve this. And so I just want to make this clear that it's not just non-JVM jobs, right? Like, because if people think of non-JVM jobs, they might be like, oh, I don't need this value. I'm not running PySpark. And so I want us to be clear here. And so we'll just leave in this comment. Yeah. Yeah. I like this part of it. I think this is good. And yeah, I think this is good too. I like both of these pieces of the documentation. So let's go back into the integration tests, which are really exciting. So this PyFiles thing is new. Like it. I don't actually see it testing. Oh, actually, maybe it is, because it's PyFiles distributed with PyContainer checks. Is that's what's happening? It is here. PySpark container tests. Is PySpark container tests added? App resources is PySpark, and here we go. Yeah, okay. This actually has it. This integration test is amazing. I'm super excited. Okay. So there's like one small review change here, and then that's pretty great. Okay, let's do a quick last pass through, and then we'll jump into the other PR that we wanted to look at today. Memory overhead factor. Yeah. Yeah, this is pretty good. Honestly, I'm pretty close to being able to say LGTM. I mean, swapping the default Python 2 to Python 3 is totally an option. We could do that. And I see the argument there. I think it would just delay us a little bit, and that's maybe unfortunate. There is the one other comment in the test. It's super minor, and I'm really hoping that can be done pretty quickly. I don't actually know why it's not showing up under my review comments here. But let's go check. It's like memory overhead factor. Yeah. Wait, where? Am I just like too drunk? Where is this? So this is where we set it. There's a test for it though. That's the setup missing. This is the get or else basic driver feature setup, basic driver feature setup. Here we go. Yeah, these are the tests. Yeah. I don't know where my comment went, but that's fine. This is the Kubernetes conf suite. Memory overhead factor 0.1, memory overhead factor 0.4 here, and the 0.31 is just not with Python. And so, yeah, just, I don't know where this comment went, so sorry if it ends up being a duplicate. Just as we discussed earlier, testing this value explicitly, set to a non, set to explicitly configured Python would be good. Okay, would be good to have as well. Let's go back down to the bottom files here. Scroll up the entry point we've looked at, the Docker file. We've looked at Builder Suite. Yeah, so that's thing. Java driver feature step. Are you literally coding from the basement? So that's a good question. I live in San Francisco, so basements are expensive. And I am actually coding from underneath my bed because space in San Francisco is really, really expensive. So here, I'm going to, give me a second, actually. Let me go grab OBS so I can see what I'm doing. So what's above me is actually just, that's my bed. And if we look around, we can see there's a bunch of things just kind of hanging there. Yeah. I wish I had a basement. I miss my basement from Canada. It was pretty nice. But this place is pretty nice too, right? Like I've got like I have like my wall of stuffed animals back here in case like I need to rubber duck it out with someone. I collect these Amazon bears to remind me of why I never want to have a pager. And they help keep me entertained. And when I need someone to talk it through with, and I don't have wonderful people from the internet to talk my debugging problems through with, the stuffed animals are super great. So we've got 2 small comments on this. It's super close. Let's just go ahead and make these review changes, and we're going to jump over to the next PR. This is super close. Thank you for the integration tests. Thank you for the integration tests. Really great work. Just a small improvement in the documentation. And one small unit test is what I see left. We should make sure other folks have a chance for any last comments. But hopefully we can merge this next week. And this is just, yeah, I think this is almost entirely there. Okay, and it's going to maybe get updated within the hour. That's great. I'm sure there's going to be a few other minor nits that other people are going to find. And I'll do like just a very style-focused read-through this weekend. And I will, as soon as you update it, I'll definitely come back and take a look at it. Have my phone number to text me, which it's not, super normal, but for really long PRs, it's useful to have some out-of-band communication as well. So I'm going to go ahead and find the second set of PRs that I promised folks we were going to look at today. So let's go ahead and make that happen. And I'm also, oh, cool. I never thought I'd see Spark on Twitch. I used to work on Spark at IBM. Ever heard of Spark Bench? Yes, I have, actually. So this is a comment coming in on Twitch. Spark Bench from K8s is actually pretty cool. I used to work for IBM as well. And so this is kind of a trip down memory lane. And I remember some benchmarking things happening here. Actually, on the benchmarking side, if anyone's really interested in talking about benchmarking with Spark, I've had a lot of questions from some of the VMware folks on how to do better machine learning benchmarks with Spark. And it's one of the things, that happens at the summit. We have these conversations, and then I just, the summit ended on Thursday, I think. And I haven't had a chance to go and take a look at what the state of the different benchmarking tools are. But if you're into that stuff, definitely reach out to the VMware Spark people. because they're definitely looking for people to collaborate with. Also, this is one of those small world situations, and those make me happy. Okay, so with that, I'm going to put my music back on, and I'm going to go find the other PRs that we were going to look at as well. Fuck, I don't remember which email account they're in, so this will just take a second while I check, because I don't have my work email on this device for just reasons. So let's go ahead, search github.com on my phone really quickly, and my work email, and okay, dependency hell. Does not look like it's in here. Oh, here we go. Please take a look at my PRs. Excellent. Yes, there we go. So we've got another person whose PRs we can take a look at. So let's go ahead and go find those. So I'm going to go ahead, sign in to the PR dashboard. And this will just take a second, or it should. We will, okay. And then we can go ahead and search for a specific username here. Cool. 5 open PRs. And so these top 3 all merge and pass Jenkins, and then there's 2 which don't, so we'll skip those 2. But let's go open these 3 and see which one looks most interesting for us to work on today. So schema in JSON format for from JSON in SQL. Interesting, for sure. There's been some comments here before. Okay, this is a thing that we could come back to. Definitely reasonable sort of thing to want to do. Support arrays of any types by from JSON. That also looks pretty interesting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This one doesn't look too controversial, so this could be a good first one for us to look at, possibly. And what about this one? Separating JSON options from read. So current restrictions on JSON options for encoding and line sep are the same for read and write. Okay. Okay. I mean, this sounds pretty good. Are there any concerns that people have? Okay, cool. Let's start with this one today, and we'll probably take a look at one of the other 2 later. And by later, I mean like probably early next week. We'll do this again. So let's go ahead and take a look. I'm also, sorry, going to bring back there we go. Okay, so check encoding, and yeah, that's fine. That makes sense. And this is one of the kind of PRs that I really like, because it kills a bunch of code too, and in theory it unifies things. So this is cool. Okay, so JSON options of time zones. Time zones always make me kind of sad. Default column name of corrupted record. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So, my one question here. Okay. Interesting. So I don't know enough about byte order marks, so let's go ahead and look them up together. Byte order mark UTF-32. Alright. Wikipedia. Yay, the byte order mark is a Unicode character. Okay. Okay. Cool. Is optional. Its presence interferes with the use of 8-bit Unicode. Yeah. So this is like a may exist. Okay, yeah, in reading files with a bomb, which is suppose. It's weird to allow the writing of files which we blacklist from reading. Personally, well, weird isn't quite the right word. It's... So I think on the right side, that the is blacklisted. It sounds like we're blacklisting an entire encoding type, which may only sometimes fail. Is that correct? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit Start Review. And this is really useful because as we read this, I may realize that what I think is true is completely wrong, and we'll figure that out as we go along. Okay. So that's cool. So let's check. JSON options in read extends JSON options. Yeah. And so check encoding right now just returns the encoding by default. And in the read side, we do a more thorough check. That makes sense. I like this approach. If we need to put checks in the right side, we can just overwrite it too. This time zone thing makes me kind of sad, but that's fine. So, for the most part, these... Ooh. Oh, wow. Okay. The PR has apparently already been updated. And the author of it is flying out tonight. Okay. So, we'll finish reviewing this one, and then we'll jump back to the PySpark one. And that is good. Okay, let's finish this one up though first. So this was writing it A1 multi-line false. Oh. Yeah, okay. I mean, wait. So UTF-8, UTF-32 create do the right path. I'm not sure this test is equivalent. Let's think about it a little more. Okay. So yeah, that's the same as saying format JSON. Overwrite mode, I guess we don't really care about. Path, and then we get... Wait. I'm not... Is this test equivalent? This... Wait... Yeah, because on the right side, format JSON mode. Wait, this test actually tests the invert? I feel like I'm missing something here. Let's scroll back up and take a look at where check schema is being used. So check encoding. So the old check encoding was inside of the basic JSON options class. Let's go look at what this one is. Okay. So, yes. Let's go look at this Jira. Okay, go ahead, dump this in. So, new try set options. Yeah. This test case. It's interesting. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. So this makes sense, but this is not covered. Yeah. So let's go ahead and take a look at this Jira, because I think yeah, that makes sense. So let's go into files changed. Yeah, okay, that change looks right then. Encoding. Yeah, okay, that looks fine. This... Although the multi-line... What does multi-line default to in JSON options? Let's go take a look. Yeah. Okay. This is just since closely match. Multi-line to false. Explicitly, since we expect this. And this is, I mean, it's the same equivalent value. Yeah. So personally, I would have also given this a different title. Like, this is the action that we're taking, but the effect that we're going for is supporting you know, this this behavior here, like not requiring line sep, and we're just getting to it by separating JSON options from read. But I mean, that's just a semantic thing, just how my brain works better when scanning this. So, okay, let's go back here and see if this comment still makes sense. Is this true? So, require multi-line or not is blacklisted. Okay, yeah. So let's go ahead and put this in. They can't read back in the same mode. Would it make sense? An equivalent check encoding on the right side that just logs a warning for folks. Okay, let's go ahead, update comment. The other thing which, as one of the Python people, I'm curious about is what this looks like in PySpark. So we'll go ahead, jump into that really quickly. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I mean, this looks like all of the checking is going to be on the right side. Okay, cool. So I've got two sort of super minor questions. So we'll just say that. I have two minor questions. Actually, let's I have two minor questions. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll just submit this review. And I mean, like, it's quite possible people will come back and say, like, no, like, your ideas are silly. And that's totally fine too. But it's, you know, they might come back and say, like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. And I think this is really important. Like, you can review code you're not super familiar with. And often in doing so and asking for clarifications about what's happening is really valuable to the project as well. And you don't have to be a committer to do this. So if you're like at home watching and you want to review code, like, please definitely do. Okay, so with that, apparently this has been updated already. So we're going to go ahead and refresh it and take a look. It's just after 10, but and I'm trying to keep these shorter. But since the author is going away pretty soon, be good to just take a look. So let's go ahead and look at view changes, and this will just show the parts that have changed. All right, I like that. This got rid of the word PySpark. I am confused. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. PySpark is now supported. Cool. Set it to 0.3. Love it. Love it. So those are the two code changes that we asked for. So I'm gonna go in and go through files changed. we're going to try and see if we can do an LGTM since the author is getting on a flight really soon. And if there's any final remaining things, it would be really good to tell them before they leave. And most likely, the best that I can do is like a provisional LGTM, which is like LGTM pending Jenkins. And like, I can't really sign off on some of the Kubernetes code because I'm not super familiar with it. But the Python side is the part that we could LGTM. I mean, I could LGTM the whole thing, but I would just like say I would feel more comfortable if someone from the Kubernetes side took a look at this. I'm really excited for these integration tests. I mean, they're super basic and simple, but they do a really good job of testing what's going on. Okay, what kind of songs do I listen to while I'm working? Yeah. I listen to a lot of digitally imported. It's not all good, and a lot of times the lyrics are kind of shitty. But I like it, and it lets me zone out and provide sort of background noise. It's more useful when I'm in an office environment, but I'm just kind of used to it now, and it just helps with my like not so mild ADD of just having background noise that's just drowns out whatever could be happening around me, because it's not all that interesting. Yeah. It's a follow-up issue. Java driver feature setup. We've looked at these things before. Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing anything that looks like it's changed or that looks bad. I'm really excited with the percentage of test case code, honestly. That's always a good sign, in my opinion, when there's more code around tests than there are in other places. Let's double check that. I don't think that's an extra new line anymore. Okay. Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and do that. LGTM pending Jenkins and sign off from okay, cool. So that's really exciting. Yeah. I think that's a good stopping point. It's 10:05 a.m., 10:06 a.m. actually now. And I haven't actually had breakfast besides my lovely Starbucks coffee. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. If you are in Berlin or Europe, next week I will be at Berlin Buzzwords and FOSS Backstage. And so definitely come see me. At least I should be. Program. Let's go into speakers. Hold in. Maybe I'm only at FOSS Backstage. Oh, no, it's just loading slowly. Yeah, okay, there I am. At Berlin Buzzwords, I'll be talking about working with TensorFlow from the JVM, how big data and deep learning can be best friends forever. At FOSS Backstage, I'll be talking more about the community side, and that will be around sort of dealing with contributor overload. Unfortunately, my coworker Gris, who was going to come with me and do this together, is stuck in America right for reasons. And if you're at either of these events, definitely come say hi. If not, I'll probably do another live stream or some office hours. I just have to sit down and look at time zones and what my existing commitments are. So thank you everyone for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you as well, everyone. Have a really great weekend. I'm gonna press the magic stop button now. Or I will in just a second.